Hi, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Breakthrough with me, your host, Tess Timmons. Today, I am speaking to you from Rome. It's my last day here, and I am outside of El Grappo de Oro's restaurant, a beautiful restaurant that I've had dinner at. I am staying at a restaurant called The Guardian, and it's across the street from the British Embassy. I would say it's a beautiful place to stay. It's a bit off the beaten path, which is I think really nice. Very walkable area, great restaurants that surround it that are that taste well. That El Grappo de Oro is from like a 1911 restaurant, family restaurant. The family lived above it for a while, and now the owner is, I think, in his like mid 70s. Terrific food. I had like steak there with local truffles. They kind of told me the local seasonable vegetables and made a pasta out of them. And the waitress was fantastic. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend this spot. Some takeaways that I had from Rome are where do I start? It was a really beautiful experience. I think that the amount of morning traffic, it's about 7:20 a.m. this morning. So the amount of um, historical infrastructure obviously has an impact on the people who live here and the people who are visiting. You can't help but find history around like every single corner. It makes it so that the locals are very informed on their own history, right? Like I feel like all of them are history teachers. And it also makes you like not look away from your own history, like not only looking at like Christian history, but even pagan history before that, that they're really detailed in knowing. For instance, Valentine's Day was pagan ritual, and so the man would be pretty much unclothed, and then he would run through the square with a piece of like fur, maybe from a rabbit or a wolf, and he would lightly hit women with it, but the women wanted to be touched by it because they were wanting to become pregnant. There's also some stairs that we drove by, and women would like climb those on their knees in order to become pregnant. I don't know, a lot of stuff about pregnancy, but just a lot of tradition that you find. Going to the Colosseum was wonderful. It was magnificent to see, to behold. It was also really interesting to drive and come upon it. I have a picture on my Instagram of two side streets, and then the Colosseum is being seen through it. And I think that really depicts a lot of Rome. Like you're peering through streets, and history is around every single corner. When I think about all of that, like the layers of history and stepping into history and being a part of it, and literally seeing the layers of it from the archaeological digs, it is fascinating. Like my cousin had told me that, Alicia had told me that before I that it would be a sight to behold, to be a part of history and to seep yourself into all of that. Um, and then I think I would, if I came back here, I would want to spend more time at the Pantheon. I find that to be fascinating, a huge infrastructure built for all gods, and it was built by pagans, and their building infrastructure is not only a mathematical wonder, like the Colosseum. It was also made quickly, also like the Colosseum, but when it rains, the infrastructure has like concrete or clay that when it rains, it becomes crystallized. So if there are any cracks in the infrastructure, that naturally rebuilds. Beautiful is that? How mindful is that? Also, that they understood crystallization of building infrastructure. There's also light that shines through the Pantheon, and that light is meant to be like light and darkness and bringing in the light, right? And celebrating all gods. There's a lot of buildings here that have light coming in from the top to let God's light in or to let in the lightness. So, and even Michelangelo and some of his sculptures letting in lightness as well.